I'm feeling underdressed.
Wow. Oh man. So if we have to bring her, that means we're gonna have to drop one of our guys. I guess Giada? That's too bad. I don't really want to drop her.
Patience, darling. I'll meet you at the tavern.
Fine.
Thank you for returning. I wish I could say I didn't actually need your help, but I do. Some young idiot Thirdborners decided they'd form their own militia to protect the region because of course they would.
Uh-oh.
And now, predictably, they're missing.
I executed the deserter for fleeing and leaving his brothers at arms to die. Oh. This was the whole quest with the Zaryps and the whole thing, yeah. Oof.
Any real soldier would know the worst crime against his brothers in arms is desertion. He should have stayed with them to the end. I'll make sure these badges are given to the surviving families.
Okay. Well, I'm glad there was a finality there. The quest didn't bug.
Over here, dearie.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Ah, there you are. It's rather rude of you to keep a lady waiting. I'll forgive you, though. It gave me a chance to dip into my notes about the Circle of Archmagi. One does not simply waltz into an Archmage's domain unprepared. Tell me, dearie, how much do you know about Ringrim?
Intellect 0 of 10. I'm pretty sure they say the sight of her drives men to such terror, they cut out their eyes and offer them.
Well, with her skill in spellcraft, she certainly could do so if she wanted to. The Circle of Archmagi are the most powerful magical beings in Eora. Whatever the reason, the fact that she's here at all is significant. Aldra's titties, the Circle sent the Archmage of Terror. Oh, she's just brilliant.
The Archmage of Terror. Oh, okay. You admire her, don't you?
What's not to admire? There's no one in all of Eora like her. And she's come all this way to Nakukubel. But I've no idea why an illusionist would care for godless artifacts. Yours truly excluded, of course. There must be something in there of interest to Ringrim. Probably something powerful.
Now's our chance to find out.
I knew I liked you, darling. I'll be with you every step of the way. Those Steel-Garrote bastards stole all my research about the
If I bring
godless.
you, yes, you will.
They'll get to the garden first over their dead bodies. I can show you the way to Ringrim's domain, but we should travel lean. The less of us there are, the less likely she'll take notice. You'll need me to get you in the door, so who's staying behind?
Sorry, Giada. Giada, can you go back to camp and tell Marius about Ringrim?
Naturally. Just don't do anything I wouldn't do. Really, though, that would be dangerous. We'll catch up later, Yatzli. Take care of the Envoy for me.
Perfect. Oh, this is going to be fun.
The foremost godless expert, Yatzli packs a lot of magical skill into her small frame. A self-taught wizard, she honed her craft while dungeon diving in the ruins all across the living lands. With a grimoire in hand, she manipulates the very essence of the world around her. She can not only conjure terrifying displays of power against her enemies, but also dispel any arcane illusions that deceive the senses. Okay. Let's take a look in here. I have lost my cursor. There we go. And we're back. Essence Explosion. Yatzli invokes a strange arcane power that explodes upon hitting an enemy, releasing a burst of essence and explosive damage. Minneletta's Missile Battery. Nice. That's a spell I know. Arduous Delay of Motion. A little bit of AoE under attacks. Let's see. Nice. Max range? Nah. Do rate of fire. Great. And... An area of effect on the slow. Sounds very useful. Cool. Okay. Great. Alright. Do we have anything else here? Don't think so. So... Let's do this while we're here. How do we get to here? From over here? Let's see. We'll start here. Hey, Major. What's up, buddy? Kawaii. Rollin'. Hey, CJ.
I
How are
must
you
have
this
done
evening?
100 shifts on those watchtowers. Never saw so much Thirdborn blood.
Ooh. Yeah. Let's start getting a couple int. Just a couple. And where do I want to put this point? Increase light distance and speed. I am using that a lot. Ooh. 5% more crit. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. Decisions. Let's try that. See how we like the slide.
Yatzli.
Swag, thank you,
None of
buddy.
this is
And I'm digging it,
behind
man.
us.
Having a good time.
Are you going back to Fior Mesivernal?
It's hard to imagine leaving forever, especially with Quilici still there. Well, what about you, dearie?
Even if I could go back, it wouldn't be the same. Who knows? Maybe getting banished was the best thing that's happened to me in a while.
Maybe Fior was holding you back. And you can return one day to rub all your success in their faces.
You're too kind to me, Yatzli. I don't deserve you.
Oh, for all you put up with from me, I'm sure I could be kinder. But I'm always happy to help.
Despite everything that's happened, I'm so grateful to be working with Yatzli. In many ways, Quilici has been like a second father to me. But Yatzli, she's like my dirty aunt who's up to no good.
We all need a few bad influences in our lives.
Well, she's an expert in that field. While I have your attention, I've been thinking. Why is Inquisitor Ludwig suddenly interested in godless ruins?
She knows more than she lets on.
She's a smart one. I'll give her that. We should be ready for anything. Something tells me Ludwig isn't finished with us yet. Not before I've done some reading.
Listening to Yatzli's thoughts about godless ruins is one thing. Bringing her along for the rest of the trip is something else.
You don't trust her?
Well, don't you think it's a little convenient? You need to go somewhere no one ever goes, and here she is to show you the way? If she's read anything about the garden, it was written centuries ago. Obviously, things have changed since then.
Seem really bothered by this.
Bothered? Pedraku. It's my job to guide you as safely as possible. What you're doing isn't safe. I'll go along with whatever you decide. Just don't be disappointed when she doesn't show you what you wanted to see. Anyway.
Okay.
If I must.
Thirdborn. If it weren't for the Leviathan skeleton in the middle of town, I'd hardly recognize the place.
How so?
Well, that's what I'm trying to nail down. You ever come back to a place and feel like the buildings are smaller and the colors are duller?
Indeed, even the pleasures of court fade over time.
It's not that I've gotten tired of the place. It's like it's shrunken and dried out, like an old gourd. Thirdborn was always this rugged oasis, dangerous and out of the way, but bursting with vitality. It was a harbor for larger-than-life types. People like Cohh, the Leviathan Slayer, and Tama. Glory seekers, trophy hunters, warriors trying to leave their battles behind. People who built around their stories and their scars.
The Thirdborn you described sounds more like legend than reality.
I guess it felt like one, too. Hardtack and murk brew after a long day's patrol tasted better than any feast. Being back, it felt like we were watching Thirdborn die a slow death.
You're in mourning for the home that you left.
Left is a generous way to put it. I think what's eating at me is that Thirdborn seems rudderless. The Dream Scourge is one threat. Conflict with Adir is another. The Living Lands is changing, and Thirdborn feels like a barnacle on a moving ship. Temerity's leading them as best she can, but towards what? What are we doing out here besides surviving?
It's not enough to run from something. You need something to run to. Yeah, I like that line. Let's do that one.
And right now, they're drifting. Yeah. What about you? You were sent by your Emperor to investigate the Dream Scourge. Since then, you've died, met a secret god, and gotten swept up in tensions between your empire and our scattered settlements. Between releasing Egwolf and thwarting the Steel Garrote and Emerald Stair, you've opposed your empire's interests. Do you know what you're sailing towards, or are you drifting with the tides?
The Deer's interests are unjust, and our alliance with the Steel Garrote leads us down a dark path.
That kind of clarity is rare. Thanks for talking. I hope Thirdborn is able to find its way somehow. I'll be here if you need me.
All right. Yatzli.
For the camp of an official Adiran envoy, I was expecting a little more. A proper bed, at least. But I suppose this will do for now. As long as you have a bath, of course.
Trust me, none understand your pain like I do. My sleep has suffered horribly. Horribly!
Oh, lovely to hear that. Not only am I in an Adiran camp, I'm in a cheap Adiran camp. But, as riveting as it is to complain about our accommodations, I imagine you have another topic in mind?
The jar you had me fetch for you earlier, is it worth much?
I'm the only buyer you'll find here, and I already have the jar.
I am cheap.
A lesson for next time, darling. It's always worth some haggling. Unfortunately, it's been quite some time since I've met another who focused on the godless as I do. And I imagine I'd be more knowledgeable on the subject than anyone else you could find.
Did you learn about the godless when you were studying the arcane arts?
Technically, yes. Well, it set me on the path, at least. When I got my first grimoire as a child, I was trying out some of the fancy new spells I'd been given. I was attempting a simple illusion spell, but I must have slurred my words. The next thing I know, everything was on fire.
Oops. When you say everything?
I mean, my arm wasn't the only casualty. What is childhood but for silly things? When else can you get away with arson? My father was able to pull me from the flames as my mother doused them. I burned myself badly enough to give myself some vivid dreams, but the house still stood at the end.
Nice. You ever end up getting the spell right?
Of course. Now I only burn those that deserve it, like mosquitoes and university administrators. The only lasting damage was my burn mark and the dreams.
Must have been painful.
Usually I enjoy a bit of pain.
Okay.
But this was a bit too much. I wouldn't recommend it. As delightful as you are, we've much to do and less time to do it in. Shall we go?
Yar. Oh, wait. You have more to say?
Oh, Envoy. Might I steal a moment of your time?
You finally ready to talk about what happened in Emerald Stair?
Well, it's the waiting that makes the payoff so delicious, don't you agree? Look, I lost more research than I'd like to count. But Fiora and its people are safe. That's what matters. Thank you, Envoy. I don't know how you managed it, but whatever you did, you averted disaster. That being said, your ambassador is going to get an earful, and possibly a fistful, next time we're in Paradise.
I can point you to some other deserving bureaucrats if that would help.
Don't tempt me, Envoy. At least we were able to get everyone to safety. Though with everything happening in Thirdborn, safe might be relative. At least I know Temerity will keep an eye on them. I think she knows what'll happen if she doesn't.
Have you known him long?
Long enough that I trust her to do her best by everyone. You see, Emerald Stair has Naku Tedek. For a young and aspiring godless scholar, it was a godsend, if you'll forgive the pun. And, as a young at heart godless scholar, I've traveled outside the stair to other ruins. That's how I met Temerity. Thirdborn's close to Naku Kubel, and a girl's gotta eat sometime.
Everywhere you've gone, why set down roots in the stair?
Yes, why did I choose to settle down with a gorgeous scientist who loves me? What a mystery.
Damn.
I still go out often. I've catalogued many ruins, but there are always more. And coming home to a warm welcome is lovely. You should try it sometime, darling.
Trust me, when I return home, many will be waiting to welcome me home with open arms. Oh my. Yes,
Oh, then surely you can understand the appeal.
I do.
You say many. After such a long voyage home, I just hope you'll have the stamina to properly thank everyone.
Indeed. A warm welcome from the Animancers. How do you get that?
Oh, part of it is my sparkling personality, of course. But a larger part of it is time. It's hard to hate someone when they drop by your lab with lunch after you've forgotten to eat again.
Is that how you met and wooed Quilichi with snacks?
My mother always said that the way to a man's heart was through his stomach.
100%.
Quilichi and I got together the old-fashioned way, though. I saw a beautiful man across a smoky tavern. Then I dazzled him with my delightful personality. Then he showed me an abandoned ruin outside of town, and I was hooked.
Happily ever after?
Oh, it's not a fairy tale, darling. We've been happy for the most part. Any rough patches got smoothed over well enough. I only thought about killing him once or twice.
Not bad.
He's probably thought the same a bit more. It's hard to believe that things have changed so much recently. Any sense of safety just went poof. It makes you wonder how everything will turn out.
People are alive, so there's still hope buildings can be rebuilt.
Right. The city can be replaced, but not its residents. Thank you, Envoy. I feel a little less frazzled. I've got a lot to think on. Talk to you soon? Try not to have too much fun without me. How can I help, darling?
Do you have an actual...
Sweet dreams. Do you think those Adirans were onto something? Do you think they can really cure the Dream Scourge?
No, I don't. I don't think anyone but Sapadal can provide a cure. Oh, have we told her about all this? I guess so.
You may be right. I just hope we made the right decision.
She was there for that. We'll see results soon.
Even if they don't have a cure when we see them next, maybe they'll have a treatment. Even that would be a gift. Now that the researchers can research, think of what we'll learn. A cure might sound far-fetched, but what if they find treatments for the Dream Scourge? And even other ailments? Oh, I can't wait to see how far they've come when we see them again.
And
Well,
yes.
that's all I had to say. I'll let you get back to whatever you were doing. Unless there's something else you want to chat about?
Blessed be
How
all.
can I help, darling? Always a pleasure.
Okay, great. We do need to do her dialogue.
Best food you've eaten.
Oh.
Go.
Fury and Rudolph ribs.
Really? Fascinating. Why?
Why? Why do you need to know?
Well, I think you can learn a lot about someone from their favorite meals.
Is one of the options because it's delicious?
It can be
What did my answer tell you?
that you dislike answering what you perceive to be meaningless questions.
Wow. It's like you're a cipher or something.
Nice. Chad, it's been an absolute freaking pleasure. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate your time. I am out of here for now. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. ET, but we're doing something new. We're going to be checking out the demos tomorrow. We're going to be starting with War Torn, I think, then Conquest Dark, and then we've got Celasta 2, we've got Breath Edge 2, we've got Chernobylite 2, and then maybe anything you guys recommend. It's going to be fun. And then maybe we'll slide in something else as well. But more Avowed tomorrow evening, I'm guessing, as we get through this awesome game. Thanks for being here. Have a great rest of your night, and excellent morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are around the globe. See you guys tomorrow for more fun and games. Bye-bye.